Madam, this is my son's house. I'm supposed to do Omugwor. Over my dead body, this is my daughter's house. Now me get Omugwor.
After dating for 3 years, Cynthia was finally Mrs. David Okonkwo. David was everything she had prayed for: handsome, hardworking, and gentle. But Cynthia ignored the mommy's boy red flag she saw while they were dating, like times when he would call his mother to ask her whether he should have akpu for dinner or permission to stay out late with Cynthia on date nights. As they drove into their modest 3-bedroom flat that night, Cynthia was happy. Finally, she whispered, "Just us." David smiled, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. He knew they were not going to be alone. Cynthia was too tired, too eager to begin her life as a wife. They entered the house and Cynthia froze. There, on their brand new sofa, sat Mama Ije, David's mother. Her worn-out bags, a big size, sat at her feet. Her wrapper was loosened for comfort and the television was tuned to an Igbo comedy channel. "Nem!" David rushed forward, his face brightening like a child who had just found his mother at the school gate. "You made it! Why didn't you call me to pick you up from the park?" Mama Ije waved her hand dismissively. "Ah, my son, I am not a baby. I followed your uncle's wife's daughter's husband's vehicle. They dropped me here." Cynthia stood by the door. "Mama, good evening, ma," she managed. Nwanyem," Mama Ije replied. "My daughter-in-law, you have brought my son home safely. That is good." Cynthia looked at David. He was already carrying his mother's bag towards his and Cynthia's bedroom. "Dee," Cynthia called softly. "The bag." "Mama was sleeping in our bedroom," David said. "Just for tonight. She traveled far. Let her sleep well here. You know our room is more comfortable. Let AC touch her." Cynthia was shocked but nodded slowly. "Just for tonight." That night, as Cynthia lay in her wedding dress turned nightgown, listening to Mama Ije snore through the thin wall, she told herself, well, she will leave tomorrow. Tomorrow came, and another tomorrow, and another. Mama Ije did not leave. At first, Cynthia reasoned with herself. She is an older woman. She misses her son. She will go soon. But soon, the small things began to pile up. Not once, when Cynthia returned from work, the breakfast plates were still in the sink. The living room rug was crumpled where Mama Ije had napped. The leftover soup in the pot had hardened into a crust. "Mama, good evening, ma. How was your day?" Mama Ije would reply. "The yam you bought is hard," Mama Ije would reply. "Tomorrow, buy from the Hausa man at the junction, not this Igbo man on the village. He cheats people." Cynthia would nod. David, meanwhile, would return home and head straight to Mama's room. "Mama, what did you eat? Did you rest well? Do you need anything?" "Your wife does not know how to cut okra," Mama Ije would say, loud enough for Cynthia to hear in the kitchen. "Very tiny pieces. In my time, okra was cut thick, so the soup will draw well." David would laugh. "Ah, Mama, she is learning." Mama finally left. 3 months into the marriage, Cynthia missed her period. 2 tests confirmed it. She was pregnant. David was overjoyed. He called his mother immediately. "Mama, you will be a grandmother!" Mama Ije pressed the phone to her ear as if receiving news from abroad. "Chineke, I knew it. I dreamt of a baby boy climbing an orange tree." That evening, Cynthia called her own mother. "Mama, I am pregnant." Her mother's scream could be heard across the entire neighborhood of Onitsha. "My daughter, my own daughter is carrying a child? Wait until I tell your aunties. I will come for the Omugwor immediately." Omugwor, the traditional Igbo ceremony where the new mother's family visits with food, gifts, and blessings. It was a woman's right, her mother's honor. Cynthia smiled. "Yes, Mama, you will come before I give birth." But when David returned home, Cynthia told him the plan. "My mother will come for Omugwor before I give birth. Then she will stay till the baby is 6 months old." David was silent for a moment. Then, my mother can handle it." Cynthia blinked. Omugwor is my mother's place. It is her moment. Your mom can come and see her grandchild." "My mother is your mother now," David said, as if this were the most logical statement in the world. "She is here in this city. She will do it." Cynthia opened her mouth. She was lost of words. "David, is it not the same thing?" he interrupted, his voice carrying an edge she had never heard before. "Why do you want to bring your mother from Onitsha when my mother is right here, suffering, waiting on her grandson?" Cynthia's throat tightened. Waiting? The pregnancy progressed. Soon it was delivery time. The labor was long, 16 hours. But when Cynthia finally held her son, a plump, crying boy with David's nose, she forgot every pain. David wept. He named him Chinedu, after his late father. Cynthia's mother arrived at the hospital the next morning, bearing pots of oha soup, ukwa, and a brand new lace wrapper for her daughter. "Ne, you have done well," she whispered, pressing Cynthia's hand. That evening, as Cynthia rested, the hospital door opened. Mama EJ walked in, and behind her, trailing on the polished floor like a loyal dog, Cynthia looked at David. He avoided her gaze. "Mama came to help with the baby. Your mother should go back home and rest. I have spoken to her already," David told Cynthia. Those words sounded like war in her ears. Her husband had insisted. The postpartum period was meant to be sacred, a time of healing, a time when the new mother was fed, pampered, and relieved of all domestic duties. For Cynthia, it was a nightmare. Mama EJ woke up at 9 a.m. every day. She would sit in the living room watching Nollywood movies at full volume as usual. By 10 a.m., she would call out, "Cynthia, is there no water for me to bathe?" Cynthia, who had been up since 5 a.m. feeding the baby, would drag herself to the bathroom to check the heater. At noon, "Cynthia, what are we eating? I am feeling egusi soup with pounded yam today. Make sure the yam is soft." Cynthia would cook, one hand stirring the soup, the other bouncing a fussy baby on her hip. She never complained to David, not at first, but the exhaustion was drowning her. One night, after serving Mama EJ dinner and clearing the plates, Cynthia sat on the edge of the bed and wept. "David," she whispered, "your mother has been here for 3 weeks. She has not washed a single dish. She has not swept the floor. She has not carried the baby once. I am tired." David, scrolling through his phone, sighed. "She is old, Cynthia. She came to rest." "To rest from what?" Cynthia's voice cracked. "She retired 5 years ago. I just gave birth." David put down his phone. His face was hard. "That woman carried me for 9 months. She sold groundnuts to pay my school fees. She slept on the floor when I was in the university so I could have the only mattress. I will not let anyone disrespect her in my house." Cynthia stared at him. "In my house? Not our house. What did I just marry?" she asked herself. Cynthia called her mother the next morning. She did not cry. She simply told her everything. Mama listened in silence. Then she said, "I will come." 3 days later, Mama Cynthia arrived. She walked through the door with the quiet fury of a thunderstorm. She placed her bag on the floor, looked at Mama EJ sitting on the sofa with her popcorn, and spoke. "Nye David, is it your mother-in-law who is now the baby?" Mama EJ straightened. "Ah, is it not you, Madam Big Grandma? You have left Onitsha to come and disturb my peace." "Your peace?" Mama Cynthia laughed, but it was not a happy sound. "I hear you have been eating pounded yam and egusi every day. I hear you have not washed a spoon. I hear my daughter, who just pushed a human being out of her body, is slaving for you like a house girl." "My son's wife is not a slave. She is doing her duty." "Duty? Is it your duty to sit and watch while your daughter-in-law suffers?" The war had begun. What followed was the longest 3 weeks of Cynthia's life. The house became a battlefield. Mama EJ would cook her own pot of soup and refuse to share. Mama Cynthia would respond by cooking a separate pot, deliberately using all the best meats. "Ah, you people eat chicken like this?" Mama EJ would mutter. "In my village, we respect meat. We cut it small to last." "In my village," Mama Cynthia would retort, "we feed our children well. We do not count pieces of chicken." Cynthia's mother took care of her daughter and grandchild, while Mama EJ did what she knew how to do best. That is, eat, watch film, and sleep. The house was hot. The mothers were either quarreling or fighting. David came home each evening to a house thick with tension. He retreated to the bedroom claiming a headache. "David, please talk to your mother," Cynthia begged. "What do you want me to say?" he snapped. "If your mother had not come, we would have peace." Cynthia stared at him. "You blame me. Your mother treats me like a servant, yet you blame me." It was a Thursday afternoon. Mama Ije was in the living room watching her usual Nollywood movie. Mama Cynthia had gone to the market to buy fresh fish. Cynthia was in the bedroom trying to catch 3 minutes of peace after a sleepless night. Then Chinedu cried. It started as a whimper, then escalated into a piercing wail. Cynthia heard it. She was coming. She was rushing. But Mama Ije was closer, directly opposite the nursery. The baby's door was open. She could see him. She could reach him. But she did not move. She kept on calling Cynthia. Cynthia, come and carry this boy. I don't have the strength to get up. She sat on the sofa, eyes fixed on the television, as her grandson screamed. Cynthia reached the room a minute later. The baby was red-faced, drenched in sweat, his small body burning with fever. Chinedu, Chinedu, Cynthia scooped him up, her heart hammering. His skin was too hot. His cries were weakening. She ran to the living room. Mama, why didn't you pick him? You were right here. Mama Ije did not look away from the screen. I am watching my program. Cynthia called David. Come, oh, you and your mother has killed me. David arrived to find his son in the hospital. The doctor said it was a severe fever. If they had waited another hour, the baby could have convulsed. When Chinedu was discharged, David drove home in silence. He walked into the living room. Mama Ije was there, still watching television. Jesus, Mama, you are still watching film? David walked to the guest room. He pulled out the big leather bag. He opened the wardrobe and began packing. David, what are you doing? Mama Ije's voice was sharp. David did not answer. He packed her clothes, her slippers, her rosary, her jar of homemade ointment. David, are you throwing me out of your house? He closed the bag. He looked at his mother. Mama, I love you. You are my mother. You carried me. You suffered for me. And because of that, I have watched you treat my wife like she is nothing. I have watched you refuse to help her. I have watched you sit while my son cried. His voice broke. But today, you watched my son burn with fever and you did not move. You did not even try. Mama Ije opened her mouth. Mama, David said, it is time for you to go. He drove his mother to the motor park, bought her a first-class ticket, gave her extra money, and waited with her until the bus departed. Mama Ije did not cry. She did not speak. She simply looked out the window as the bus pulled away. Mama Cynthia did Omugwor. She took good care of them. She washed the dishes and clothes, bathed the baby, and prepared all kinds of dishes. David watched his wife blooming in beauty, her face relaxed in a way he hadn't seen in months. He apologized to her. I am sorry for everything, he said quietly, and placed his hands on hers. She did not say, I forgive you, not yet, but she did not move his hand away. 6 months later, it was time for Mama to leave. David and his wife gave her a lot of things. 2 bags of rice, 20 long tubers of yam, new George wrappers, foodstuffs, an orthopedic mattress, and cash. Mama was overjoyed.